If you can hear my dogs. I've got a Australian Shepherd and he goes crazy when I leave the house, so you might be able to hear him. But I went ahead and ordered this right here. This goes inside here to hold this on. And I've heard soapy water is the way you get them on, so mine was already off. Also, see, you're gonna have to use soapy water to clean it up. But anytime this rains, this is just open to the elements, and I don't like that, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of it. You can tell that moisture's been getting in here because the carpet's starting to get dirty and molded up. There's a lot of heat in this car right now. One thing that's bothering me is I lost... Oh, there they are. I was about to say I lost these, but no, here they are. So, luckily I've got one per side. So, and this came with the car, so... This here I didn't have to order, but that chrome piece I did. And it's a good thing that it's got two of them, because this one, you can see... Or we'll open this. You can see that's dry ratted. Oh, and I never got to cover this. I got a little princess towel with this that was sitting on the seat. I don't know why, because the seat's in great shape. Seat looks almost brand new. So, gonna go ahead and definitely do one side today. And then this side, this one here, I might leave for a different day, because this has still got to come out. Because what's happening here is, when it rains heavy, it's getting in there, right here. And then, we should replace this eventually. It's not that hard to replace this kind of stuff. At least it isn't on other cars. Maybe it's harder on this one. Because I've never worked on a GS before, so... This is actually the only the second Buick I've ever owned. I bought like an old 1990s style Buick for my mom one time, for her to get to and from her doctor appointments and all that kind of stuff. And that was a good car. That thing was bulletproof. Let's see this. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. That is from 2007. So I guess these seals have sat in this car for that long, huh? So they come labeled right hand, left hand. So we'll go ahead and put these in and figure out what we're doing here. Yeah, I guess we could look this up, soft seal, see if that even still exists. Alright. It comes in Spanish as well. Isn't that something? There it is. You know, I could have said French there just to... It comes in French. Alright, there we go. Here we are about 2 weeks later. So, I ordered this stuff from Detroit Muscle. They make this little material that'll fit better than that other stuff we had. And it took 2 weeks because USPS always takes 2 weeks to get stuff to me. So, I had 2 guitars from Ibanez, right? 2 that were coming out to me. One that was the 27 fret, $3,000 guitar. I tried that one out. And I didn't like it as much as my... Believe it or not, I did not like that guitar as much as I thought I would. So I sent it back, got my money back. And then I got about a $1,000 guitar from them that I was just going to use to play at jam sessions and when I was practicing. And when it got here, it was broken in half. Double boxed, and FedEx still found a way to break it. So just broken in half. And whenever the driver dropped it off, he had the balls to be like, "Here it is, man. You've been waiting for it, I know. Here it is," and acted like nothing happened, even though you could see the box was broken. The box was broken like this, 90-degree angle, with the with the guitar like broken in half. You could tell. So yeah, he had the balls to act like nothing happened. So I had this this video recording device right here with me, and I just recorded what it looked like and took it into FedEx, and luckily they reimbursed me and sent it back, and I think they claimed it on insurance or something, but it was it's pretty crazy, and that's why I don't like FedEx anymore, because where I live, they're gonna break something if they send it to you and or lose it. I had I think it was headers that I ordered, and they sent it to they took it to the wrong place. And keep in mind, I know who my neighbors are. I know what their homes look like, right? And I say that because the driver took a picture of the box in front of this person's house. I almost said neighbor, but in front of the person's house, and he said, when I called in, the manager said, "Well, don't you recognize that house? Can't you go get the box yourself?" I said, "No, I don't recognize that house." Like, I don't know what house that is, because it was, it had like a bunch of like stonework out front, and none of my neighbors have that. So it was so funny, though, that I called it in that it was missing, and they wanted me to go track it down. I thought that was so funny. But we'll get this done today. I just got to measure the length on this, and we'll put it on in there. It's like it's a little more tacky of a, not tacky as in cheap, but tacky as in the feeling. A little more tacky than this stuff. And I think it's going to be a better fit, because this stuff is just, I think this stuff is great if you are putting this on with the window out of the car. If you're putting this stuff on with the window installed like this, and you just don't want to do that extra work of taking the window out, then I think this is going to be hard to put in. I tried the warm soapy water trick. It just wouldn't go. It just won't work, because you don't have enough space down here to actually slide it on. And the way that the chrome is designed, it can only come in from the top. So I tried rolling it down and everything, and it just wasn't working. So instead of hitting it and, trying to force it to go and breaking something, instead of doing that, I decided to order this stuff for $10. I got enough for both sides. I got the 3-foot one, and you can get these really cheap. Now, this is ABC body for, I think, a Mopar, I think is what I ordered. But it's going to work, hopefully. So we'll see. I'll cut it to length and see what happens. Yeah, I'd say this stuff works a lot better. So the first try was my own stupidity. I got it caught. I'll show you where. I got it caught right here, and I didn't notice it. There's a little weather stripping there, hard to see on camera. But the second try, I just took it back off and straightened it back. And if you look, it's actually on there. You can see the glass is flush. So on there good enough where it'll roll down and roll back up. And I think that's all we want. So now I think I might actually leave the excess. I don't actually hate how that looks. I think a lot of people trim it. I might leave it for a day or two and see if I actually like how that looks. Okay, warm soapy water on both sides of this track here. That's going to slide in. And it should go right on. Took my old one out and compared these from the other side. So all you got to do is slide these out. They just slide out. New one's a little wider, like ever so much wider. Yeah, this one fit better. Just wanted to show what I did to this. give a quick update. You can see these splotches on here. Alright, so I took my sander, and all these spots that were bare metal I went ahead and sanded just to see if they look bad. I missed a couple of spots, like right there. You can see that's got bare metal underneath. So I sanded them back and checked and saw if they were rusty or not. And most of these are good. And I went ahead and sprayed over these with a 2-in-1 paint and primer Rust-Oleum rattle can. And the rattle can worked pretty good, but as with all rattle cans, the paint almost always runs. Like right here. And that's mostly my fault. I got like carpal tunnel in my hands real bad. And with those spray cans, whenever you're holding it like this, I can't even feel my hand anymore when I'm, you know, rattle canning. So I'm supposed to get surgery through the VA for that, but who knows. But we got all this here that turned out pretty good to protect it. And the reason that I did this, I'm not going to leave the car looking like this. But it's going to be a while before I paint this, because I have to get a new compressor. And I'm not going to have the money for the paint and the compressor for a while. I'm going to attach the video of installing this at the beginning of this so that you'll be able to see this. We've got another issue here. Oh, and I didn't paint this yet here. I got to do some work here too. But we've got another issue. 2 issues actually. A, we've got water coming in, I think, from the kick panel, because I took the kick panel off and it looked like that's where the water was coming in at. So I've got to take care of that sooner rather than later. And I've got the dash off, and I've got to fix this. So this right here, I don't know what happened, but I think this caught somehow on something and did this damage to this door. So I got to fix that. But most of the paint looked like this, with the clear coat just kind of destroyed. And there were certain spots that were down to bare metal, and then there's a spot here on this hood that's a former repair. If you look right there, that was a repair that somebody did. So I've got to sand the shit out of that, and right here too, and we'll see what I can do. I've been itching to try out that new welder, but the main reason why I bought the welder was right back here. I've got a little repair here that I've got to do. I got to cut this out and weld a new little piece in. But the floors on this thing are immaculate. I found out this is a 308 rear, open diff. The second point of this is I found out that the transmission in this has no forward gears. So we have one doesn't work, so low gear doesn't work, second, drive, none of those work, but reverse still works. I checked the fluid, because whenever I was moving this, it didn't want to move at all. I put it in reverse because it was sitting pointed the other way. It was sitting close to where my Ventura is right now and pointed this way. And it wouldn't move. It wouldn't budge. And I went ahead and checked the fluid. It was really low, barely touching the stick. So I went ahead and put some fluid in, and then we got reverse back. So I backed it out, and I thought that since I had reverse, I would have forward gears. But I backed it out and put it in first, and it wouldn't go anywhere. So I tried drive, it wouldn't go anywhere. It just sat there, and no matter how hard I revved it, nothing. So I was able to push the car. I pushed it forward to a good distance down the road, and then I put it in reverse and just backed it in. And I backed it in right here, because this is going to be the best spot for me to work on it, I think. And I'm going to get, they sell, I think they're called gantry cranes, but they go up and above the car, and you can take a cherry picker down and pull an engine or whatever you need. So I think the engine in this I'm going to leave alone, because the engine sounds pretty good now. Let's go ahead and alright, got my battery unhooked. Go ahead and crank it up. But I'm having problems with the starter on this. The starter's not really working that great. And I started running gas from the tank, because the gas from the tank, it's been running fine on. At first, yeah, see, that's what that door does whenever you open it, because of that mark there. Alright, so if we look here, I took this door panel off, or this kick panel, and it hasn't rained since then, and it's actually getting dry in here now. It's still wet, but it's getting dry. So I also found a steering wheel that I want online that is a slightly different steering wheel that I'm going to buy for this. But first I got to figure out what's going on with this leaking issue, and we'll go from there. I love bench seats in these cars too. Like, so glad it's bench seats. I know some people like the bucket seats, but I don't really like those as much. I think, I guess because I like Chevy trucks so much, I like bench seats in my cars. All right. There it goes. I'm just trying to feather it right now, just keep it going. Because I know this gas isn't the best gas. I know these don't work. See? The dummy lights, they don't work. The oil one's not even hooked up. I don't even know why it's lighting up. I completely disconnected the oil one. I don't know what's going on with that. The temp gauge, yeah, that's not working either. I think the fuel gauge works. Wow, that works. Yeah, it's at about 1/4 of a tank. That's a new one. Most of these cars, that's the first thing that goes. But I can put it in gear. And we got nothing. We got nothing. So as you see, we don't have any forward gears. So we're in park right now. That sound you hear, I think is these pulleys. It's a mix of the pulleys, and it might be the water pump. I don't know if it's actually pulling anything through this, but it's full of antifreeze. But these pulleys are making some noise here. Other than that, though, I think this engine, I think we can make this engine work. It's a points right now. I want to upgrade it to an HEI. That's one thing that I usually go with. Other than that, there's not much that I want to do to it other than that. Go ahead and shut it off. I just wanted to show that it actually cranked. So it's getting to where it cranks up pretty good now. I was having some real issues getting it started. It was taking way longer than what it just did, but yeah, so I want to put HEI is what I was saying. And this old intake here, this is an aftermarket intake. This is, God, what are these called? Can't even remember. I cannot remember what these are called, but in the early 2000s, there was a company making those. And they're either you love them or you hate them. I've seen a lot of people say they don't make anything over, they don't make much over stock. What is it, Poston? Yeah. That's who's been making, that's who was making those intakes. Now, TA Performance is the one that I'm going to go with. They also make heads for these now, aluminum heads that make pretty good power, but I'm going with these stock heads. These are from 71. They're still, there's not going to be anything wrong with them. I think I'll just keep this as a GS 350. Just keep the 350 Buick. And I know a lot of people love swapping in 455 Buicks. And it might be something that I do, but right now I think the main thing is I want to keep on messing with the engine. See if I can't get it to where it's, you know, running real good. And then I want to see if I can get a good transmission to put in this. I was hoping this trans was going to be good because I usually sell all the automatic trans that I get. But I want to put a either a T10 or a Muncie behind it. I just have to locate one. I found a couple on Marketplace that more than likely when I get there and look at it, it'll need a rebuild, but that works. I said the lights worked. I don't even know. I don't think I checked them. Marker works. Works. Works on the bottom. Works there. Let's check the brakes. That one's not on. That one is working, but the lens is loosened. That one's working. So those are working. It's for the, there it is. I think we're about to figure out why that was off. Yep. So that's why they took that off. That's a pretty easy fix. So turn signals aren't working. So I bet, let's see, we'll do that. I'll have to look at the fuses, because the fuse for that is down there. I don't think either one's working. Nope. So our turn signals aren't working, everything else is. So that explains why they took this off. So, seems like the switch itself is working. Let's see, this should have floor mounted dimmers, right? Yeah. Alright, so we kind of know that that's why they took this off. So it looks like maybe he replaced the switch and he thought that's what it was, and it didn't fix it.